Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 41 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on today. So, yay, I made it to day 41. Um, I'm really wore myself out tonight. I think I did a little, I'm just a little too much, but I I went somewhere that I felt the need to wear a mask, and can't breathe with those things on, so I think it just kind of drained my energy. But I was actually feeling a little bit better today, physically, not necessarily emotionally. But I met with someone from church in my bishopric, and so we were talking, and there's a couple things that kind of just stood out to me, and I was telling him how frustrated I am with the process of getting better. And I was talking to my landlord about it today or tonight, and I was saying it's kind of like doing physical therapy. It just takes a while for everything to start working again. So it's like you've been injured and you have to do physical therapy. And so it's just kind of getting my body back to normal. It's just taking its toll, it's taking its time. But I like analogies. I like things that I can compare to, because it helps me to understand a little bit. It helps me to put things in a proper perspective, and it helps me to not feel as frustrated. But when I was talking to a member of the bishopric tonight, I was telling him I was grateful for being frustrated, as odd as that sounded. But I am, because it means that I've made progress. Because a year ago, I fell into a really deep state of depression, and I was not able to get out of bed, and or out of my room. It was really bad, and I didn't care. I wasn't to the point that I was suicidal, but I didn't care if I lived or died, and I, I didn't care if the bills got paid. I was kind of thinking, I should just go to, I don't know, go to some, not that they have a sane asylum anymore, but go to some mental hospital or something and just get locked away and have the government pay for me the rest of my life and just hide out in some mental institution. I was just really that depressed, and I just didn't want to be responsible for anything. I didn't care about anything. It was really bad until my friend that suggested the gratitude lists, and that I felt impressed or prompted by Heavenly Father to create these videos, to do my 100 days of gratitude. And things started to get better for me at that point. Things started to change a little bit. My attitude, my perspective, um, my life. And not that my job or my finances or anything like that has changed, but and then I did my 100 days of writing, so I did a little bit more writing. I've been a little bit more focused, and I kind of feel like I lost some of that the last 40 days, whatever, I don't know. But tonight was kind of a reminder that maybe I hadn't, because I've continued to do these videos. And as I was sharing with this person in the bishopric, I was telling him that even though I'm frustrated, that I'm not healing as quickly as I want to, that I can't get back to work as quickly as I want to, that I want to be self-reliant, that I want to pay my bills, and that my frustration is showing the change in myself, um, from last year, when I was so depressed that I couldn't get out of bed, and to now, when I'm frustrated that I can't just go to work and and make the money to pay the bills and be completely self-reliant to take care of myself financially as well as physically, and all the other things that I want to do, that I frustrated at my limitations, and that I have to take things slow. Slow and steady wins the race. That keeps just running through my mind, a little turtle, every time I get a migraine or can't do things as quickly. It's like slow and steady, slow and steady. I can get through it, and that's helped me this past week, as I started to do a few more things. I think I do. Some days I've done a little too much, but it feels good to be able to do some things. Not as much as I would like, not as quickly as I would like, But I just found it interesting tonight that I would be grateful for being frustrated, because it shows my growth. It shows the changes in me that I have made, and it makes me grateful for this illness and for the amount of time that it's dragged down because of the things that I have learned about myself. Because I've been able to see myself respond differently than I have in the past. Not that maybe not the perfect response, maybe not the best response, but it's definitely better than what I used to do, and I'm very grateful for that. I feel so blessed and so loved and so taken care of. And today I just didn't want to do anything. I will be perfectly honest. I didn't. I laid in bed and and I was coughing, so I got up and I sat on my couch for like 2 or 3 hours before I finally got something to eat. And then I'm like, oh, I have to do stuff. So then I got dressed and I got something to eat. And something about getting dressed helps. And then of course I try to just lay on my couch and I'm like, I'm bored. I have energy. I need to do stuff. I wasn't feeling totally drained, but I just didn't want to do stuff. But I still got myself to read my scriptures and meditationals. I talked to my kids on the phone today, which is really nice. I went to the bank today, finally. And then I really wanted to take a nap after that because I was like, okay, I'm really tired. But I haven't had a nap, which is probably why going to visit someone in Bishopbrooke, which, although that was nice because it was outside of my house, I actually had to drive over to the church, so it was nice to get out to be around a few people, even if I had to wear a mask, which very I don't really like those. I don't feel like I can breathe in them anyway, but coughing them on was just it was a little bit draining. And by the time I left, I saw my bishop on the way out, and he was like looking at me. And he's like, "You need to sit down." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm headed home. I'm just leaning up against the wall for rest for a second." So I must have looked really drained at that point. So I wish I could say I just came home and did the video, but I actually came home and had to lay on my couch for um, an hour and a half or so, just because I needed to um, recoup and get a little bit of energy back. But I am happy to say that I did get some energy back. I was completely drained and couldn't stand up, but resting for about an hour and a half, I have a little bit more energy again. So, um, unlike previously, I feel like I'm not completely drained today. And some of my energy is coming back, and that I can just rest for a short period of time. Well, okay, an hour and a half isn't really a short period of time, but I can rest for that hour and a half, and then I have the energy to get up and do, and not just get up and go to the bathroom and then crash, or get up and get something to eat and crash. It's a little more than that. So I feel like maybe that silver stuff is working, or maybe all the prayers are kicking in, or maybe it's been almost 7 weeks since I've been sick, and this virus is just finally getting out of my system. But I also got a priesthood blessing tonight, which was amazing. A lot of reminders about how loved I am, and all the talents that I have that bless me and bless the lives of other people. And that as I continue to develop those talents, it will continue to bless the lives of other people. Um, and there was something that the member of the Bishopbrooke mentioned to me tonight. He asked me if I'm thankful for myself. And I had never thought about that before, but I've been thinking about that, um, because I guess in my life, you know, you always thank other people for doing kind things for you, or for helping you out, or doing something, or, you know, just being a good friend, or whatever it is. You say thank you, I appreciate that. But it hasn't occurred to me to tell myself thank you for taking a shower today because I really needed one, or thank you for going to work, thank you for paying bills, I appreciate that. Thank you for making dinner. This food was good. I never thank myself for any of those things. I hasn't occurred to me to be grateful for myself. I know I've been learning to love myself and to take better care of my body. And I need to listen to my body and pay attention to what it needs. and it may not always need what I want. I mean, it may require sleep when I want to be working, or it may require food when I want to be sleeping, or whatever the case may be. But I need to pay attention and take better care of my body. Maybe thirsty and need to drink lots more fluids, which is something else. I've been drinking a lot more water or juice since I've been sick because I just feel very parched. This whole coughing thing makes my throat feel like it's totally dried out all the time. So I haven't been dehydrated that much, which is amazing because normally I don't drink enough water. So I'm always dehydrated. So I think I'm much more hydrated recently because I just keep filling up my water bottles. So that's been a positive take on all of this too. So I feel very blessed, and maybe I should be thanking myself for drinking water. I should be thanking myself for paying attention to myself and for loving myself. These are things I don't really know how to do. It's just kind of a new concept for me, a new idea, something to kind of ponder and pray about and consider. But it's very easy to be grateful for other people and for other things and for God and all of the blessings He's given me in my life and continues to bless me in my life. But honestly, until I was asked tonight if I was grateful for myself, it never even occurred to me to thank myself for things that I'm doing, to thank myself for following through on my videos, to thank myself for making food, for letting myself sleep, for whatever it is. That's kind of an interesting idea. I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to implement it. It might be an interesting venture to try to find things that I am grateful for about myself, as opposed to just grateful for external things and blessings that help make my life better. So, and I guess maybe my choices help myself to feel better about myself. So I guess I should be thanking myself for the good choices that I make, at the same time not beating myself up for the not so good choices that I make. And so maybe there's a balance, and maybe as I find more gratitude in the positive things that I do for myself, and I tell myself those positive things, that maybe it will help me to let go of the negative or the disappointment or the things that don't work out, because that seemed to work with doing 100 days of gratitude. So just kind of an interesting thing to think about, to ponder today. I was also asked the question if maybe God allowed me to be sick so that I could have a different perspective on things. And I don't know if it was so much to have a different perspective, but I think there's definitely been some lessons in all of this. And I have had a different perspective. I don't know that I've necessarily had a different perspective, but I've been given the opportunity, like I said, to compare to how I was a year ago when I just fell into a state of depression versus this year when I just got really sick with a really bad virus. So it's very different, my responses in just a year. And it's not even been a year since I started doing my videos. I'd have to look to see exactly when my year is. I think it was sometime in August, July or August, when I started doing my 100 days of gratitude. So maybe it was September, I don't remember. But anyway, I think it had to have been at least August, because I don't know, maybe September, August or September. I don't remember. I'd have to look. One of those things that might bug me a little bit. So I know it hasn't been a year since I started my videos of 100 days of, and this is only my third round of 100 days. And there's, I don't remember now, 365 days in a year. So I guess at the end of this 100 days, I'll have another 65 days to hit my year mark. So I won't quite get through 4 sets of 100. So might have been closer to July then when I started. Anyway, it was last summer and we're just not to spring yet. So making some huge progress changes in my reactions to things and my desires for things, and my willingness to actually follow through on things is very different now than it was 6 months ago, 240 days ago, however long that was. So it makes me very grateful to see the change and to realize that that's actually happened in a fairly short amount of time. It feels like it's been a really long time, but I'm just grateful to see the change. And I'm grateful for the reminder that sometimes we have to go through things, hard things like this, because it's the only way that we will learn, or the only way that we can see the change in our life, or because it reminds us to come closer to our Savior, to rely more on God. And in this case, it's been helping me do a lot more trusting and having to let go, especially of control, because I can't control this. I can't set a date and say that I'm going to be better, because I've tried that and it hasn't worked yet. So it's having to learn to trust God's timing, and that I am in the process of getting better, and that I can start slowly doing things. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I can start to feel a little bit better. I'm grateful for my wonderful friend that reminds me that of the positive things that I'm doing, and to keep track of those, and that this is progress, and to not get discouraged because it's not happening in my timing, and just a lot of things to remind me it's not my timing. So I can hope for the future, I can plan for the future, but I also have to know or plan that things aren't going to go the way that I expect them to. So I just have to let things happen the way that they're going to happen. And I have not, even though I've read my scriptures and meditationals and done writing, I haven't made a to-do list this week at all. And I'm grateful for that, actually, because I realize, I mean, I've said this probably many times, that I can't force myself to do things. I can think about it and I can beat myself up for it, and it just makes the situation worse, and I don't get my things done. But it allows me to take the pressure off. I mean, I know all the stuff that needs to get done around my house, dishes, laundry, unpacking boxes, putting away my Christmas stuff. I mean, I know all the things that need to be done when I have the energy to do them. And it's my choice whether or not I choose to do them. And I know that too. But it helps me to just be like, okay, what am I willing to do? My friend's suggestion to get up every hour has been very helpful. Again, I'm only doing it every hour and a half to 2 hours, because I don't quite have the energy after an hour. I thought I would tonight, even when I came home, and I was like, I just want to crash and go to bed, which would have been nice, but I still needed to do my video, and I would still like to write in my journal. So I, and I probably need to make something to eat. I'm not hungry, but I know that it's been a while and I probably need to make something to eat. So, and then I'll probably realize how hungry I am once I start eating. I do that a lot. Anyway, I'm easily sidetracked. I apologize. But I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. But it's helpful to me to just recognize that I can set a timeline, a time frame, and be like, okay, this is my time. And sometimes I'll extend it, to 2 hours or 2.5 hours before I get up and do something. But it's helping me to just start doing little things, and it's helping me to focus on the fact that I am doing those little things, and that hopefully every day, as I feel like I get a little bit more energy and get a little bit more bored laying around, that I'll get up and do more things. And that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. And I don't have to beat myself up for not doing those things, because honestly, sometimes I think it's just like when I have my migraines and I'm laying around thinking, okay, I have energy and I can get up and I can do ABC and XYZ and I'm good to go. And then, it's like my migraine and I'm laying there and the lights are out and it's nice and cool. It's dark and I'm not moving. And I'm like, I feel perfectly fine. and I'm not even tired. I'm not sleeping. So I'm just going to get up. And as soon as I get up, the whole pain, dizzy, woo, and I have a migraine. I don't have a migraine today. That's just, my analogy. It's my comparison for me as something that helps me to put things into perspective and to not beat myself up so much, because honestly, I can sit here on my ball and say, oh, I have energy, or I can lay on my couch and I'm like, oh, I have energy. And then when I actually have to stand up and start moving, then my legs kind of feel like jelly and my head just kind of gets a little bit lightheaded, and I'm just suddenly like, and I'm just going to collapse right now. So I was very much like that. And in spite of that, I managed to drive home from the church and still made it to my couch, which I'm very grateful for. And I needed that hour and a half before I could even, like, literally, I was struggling to hold up a remote or even focus to pick a TV show or something to watch. I'm like, I'm just going to lay here because I just have to rest. And I had to rest for like 10 or 15 minutes before I could even turn on the TV. It was sad. I was just drained. So there's no way I could have done a video at that point. But I can now because I let myself rest. And I know when I'm done with this that hopefully I'll have enough energy to go make something to eat. And so I'm grateful that I can do things in spurts, little spurts. And I'm grateful that the amount of time that I can spend to do things is getting a little bit longer and wider. I'm really grateful for that. And so it's making me feel good that I can start doing some things. I even pseudo cleaned my toilet today, which made me very happy. I didn't do a whole lot. I just got the little toilet bowl cleaner that you spray around the rim and then just let it sit for 15 minutes, which was closer to 45 by the time I went back in the bathroom. And then I just flushed it, and I know it needed to be scrubbed and all that other stuff. I did not have the energy to get a sponge and nail down and do that, but it looks a little bit nicer just with doing that much, which I haven't done in a while, so it's kind of gross. Not that you want to know that, TMI, I apologize. But it was nice to be able to do at least that little bit. So I'm grateful for the little bits of things that I was able to do today, and I'm grateful that I didn't not putting the pressure on myself to have a to-do list, to have specific things that I have to work on, because that's setting expectations. It's setting myself up to be disappointed if I don't complete my list because I run out of energy, or because somewhere along the line I feel impressed to do something completely different with my day, which happens a lot. Or for whatever reason, I just can't seem to motivate myself or energize myself to do whatever it is that I want to do, like my dishes that need to be done again and or still. So it's just, it takes that pressure off, because it's just today. What am I willing to do today? What did I do today? And the nice reminder tonight that even if I was just laying there going, I don't want to do anything today, I can list all the things that I did in spite of not wanting to do things today, which I'm grateful that I'm doing those things in spite of that. And also the reminder that sometimes when I'm just laying down and I feel like I have energy doesn't necessarily mean I have a lot of energy. It's kind of misleading a little bit, because it doesn't take much to wear myself out just by getting up and walking around or getting something to eat. So it is going to take time to regain all of my energy. Not that I had a whole ton of energy before. I was just used to doing stuff, being tired, but I was still able to do stuff. And now I'm just like, ugh, I'm getting back to that, but it's slow. And I feel like I'm doing a little bit more around the house, and probably because I'm not at work. But I need to figure out work because I got bills that are going to have to get paid this month, and got to figure that out. And I got a tooth I got to get fixed because it's killing me. It wasn't killing me too bad until today, so I think more of the crown is broken off and my nerve is getting exposed. So that is not a comfortable feeling. Got to figure out how I'm going to pay for that, because that may be my next priority. Anyway, I am. I'm grateful that I can still do these videos. I'm grateful for the things that I can learn from these videos. And I really hope that in posting and sharing these videos and talking about the things that I'm learning and the changes that I'm making, that it's encouraging to other people that may be going through something similar to what I'm going through, to know that you're not alone, to know that you can change, that God is always there and He's aware of what's going on in your life. There's a way up, there's a way out, there is hope through our Savior Jesus Christ, through His atonement, that things can get better, um, even when it's hard. And if we focus on the little things, on the things to be grateful for, it helps. It helps to boost my spirits. I hope it helps to boost your spirits. I hope that seeing the changes in my life gives you encouragement that maybe you can make the same changes in your life if that's what you're interested in doing or struggling with or whatever. So I guess I hope in some small way something I'm saying is helping other people, so they don't feel quite so alone in whatever your struggles are, because you're not alone in whatever your struggles are. And I'm grateful to know that I'm not alone in my struggles. And it was nice talking to the member of my bishopric tonight, because he had the same thing that I had. And his cough lasted for a very long time afterwards. So, I mean, his wife got it and she was over it in like 2 3 weeks, like most people, and his lasted much longer, like mine. So it was nice to talk to someone else that had a similar experience, with the cough and the fatigue lasting an extended period of time. So, and I know I'm not the only one and he's not the only one, but it's nice to talk to someone else that's gone through it before. And so I hope these videos help for anyone that's going through it, to see that I've gone through it, or maybe feel like we're going through whatever together. And so I hope it's helpful. So if you like these videos, if it's helpful, you can hit like, subscribe, or share with someone else if you think they'll like it or it will help them too. And I'm just grateful that I can continue to do these videos. I'm grateful for God and His inspiration in helping me to know what to say and do. And not sure I'm doing it very perfectly, but I'm always putting forth the effort. So I hope it's paying off. And like I said, I hope you enjoy these videos. Feel free to comment if you want to as well, hopefully nice ones. But anyway, I think that's all that I have to say for today. So I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe do some writing.